Howdy ho, y'all. 57 here, bringing you uh, another UTL match against Derpner 3001, coach of the New York Shelmets. He's been a longtime battler. He's been here since season one. Very good battler, very good guy. Does not have a channel, so I have no obligation to link. He um, has been a perennial playoff team every season he's been around in, which has been all of them. So it's a very formidable opponent. One of the few coaches I believe we do not have an even or positive record against lifetime. So there are some stakes here. His team this time around consists of Victini, Zygarde, Forges, Crobat, Mega Gyarados, in case that's not clear, uh, Fortress, Tracheon, Cofagrigus, Porygon 2, Lantern, and Lilligant. Obviously, also a maid fetish there, but we're not going to get into that right now. We just got to focus on the battle, guys. We see he has speed tier maxes out at 130 with Crobat, which is big issue since that gets the jump on Weavile. And Tracheon is obviously a big threat, kind of being able to power through defensive cores of like Alolan, Marowak, Mega Steelix, Miltank, and such. And it even takes on Aromatisse to some degree. Obviously, Victini is a threat, very versatile, a lot of things you can do with it. And yeah, so let's see what we brought. We brought our Como-O here with a Poisonium Z Poison Jab for a Florges. We gave him a Bulk Up, a Speed Creep for 278. What does that would be for a Gyarados not at +1 is what that speed creep is for. The rest in HP and attack. I believe I gave I set a certain attack benchmark, I believe, but I'm not fully sure. We don't need a special attack reduce boosting nature or neutral nature, since Flamethrower will OHKO Fortress even at a minus nature, which is very nice. Skyrier Hypergut gets a lot of neutral hits on his team. We unfortunately don't have a Dragon Stab, so if he figures out like he can 1v1 us with Zygarde, then we'll be in some trouble. But if we get a couple bulk ups, we might be able to do some work with this. Yeah, Como actually doesn't have a kill on the season yet, but see if we can get this set to get things kind of rolling. Next, we have Mega Steelix with a Roar, Heavy Slam, Toxic, Earthquake. Roar for a Mega Gyarados setup. Earthquake for definitely for dangerous switch-ins from Victini. Heavy Slam hits most things, like Florges hits Terrakion, but obviously the main thing is for this to come in on Florges, on Crobat, on unpredicted Porygon 2 status moves, and get Toxic offs on his walls. So here we have we don't really need Spit F on this, so we took like the normal OU level of max HP and the 56, or not OU level, the ladder level of 56 Impish, and then we threw 200 EVs into attack, so we can potentially hit hard, maybe threaten his Gyarados enough so that it won't be able to set up too much. We have Plague Knight or Aromatisse, Moonblast, Wish, Protect, and Aromatherapy. Pretty standard stuff. The only odd thing is a speed creep here for Fortress. I set this before, and with some intention of putting Hidden Power Fire on. Unfortunately, I forgot to do that, and yeah, that's it. So I have a speed creep for Fortress just as a random thing. You know, it's fun, just whatever. Here we have Alolan Marowak, Flare Shadowbone, Earthquake, Stealth Rock with max HP, a defense boosting nature because I anticipate to be taking on Victini more. This is essentially our Victini check. with the ability to take on, thunders and grass knots, glaciates, and such. Speed creep is to get the jump on a. Whew, I believe that's for lantern. I want to say lantern. I'm gonna say that's what that's for. Maybe lantern, maybe forges, a lot of things. But yeah, I want this to. Yeah, and thick club, it doesn't really even need attack investment. It still hits hard. And this is our rocker. Rocks do decent amount of work to his team. Here, since our Weavile does not cannot outspeed as fast as speed tier, we ran enough to beat Terrakion, and then which frees us up to run an Adamant Nature. Ran an odd number so that we take less damage from rocks, and then 4 points in Spit F, which looks kind of ugly, but that's just the explanation for it. And here we have Low Kick for a Mega Evolved Mega Gyarados, Ice Shard, priority pick things off, Pursuit to get a Victini, and Knockoff for a lot of nice big neutral hits. And we do not have a Ice School Crash, which I've seen Doom coaches before, but I don't particularly think I need it this week, so we'll see how that goes. And finally, we have the phenomenal Miss Jill Stein, who has been having quite the season. Speed Creep for Mega Gyarados, Toxic Spike, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain. We had Hidden Power Fire on here initially, Fortress, but like, you know what? Got a little Marowak. We have Mega Steelix, who doesn't really mind Fortress. We have Fire Coverage on Como-O. We don't need it. We can throw Extra Sensory to get a big hit on a Crobat switch in. So that kind of overviews my thought process. Overviews my thought process here. So let's jump. Let's look at what he brought. Did not bring the Crobat, which I was really expecting. I guess the Lantern would be the surprise, if anything. He brought his big threats, so Victini, Mega Gyarados, Terrakion. He brought Fortress because people just love that crappy roll compression, fucking hazard removing, hazard setting thing that does. I truly don't think it's like. I don't think it's worth anything. And Alolan Marowak can just like eat that up, just come in on that freely. But yeah, at any rate, in this I expect him to go for a hazard lead, or possibly a Victini U-turn. So here I go into Alolan Marowak to lead off. I don't really have a switch into this, so I figure I kind of expect him to overpredict here, and I just fire off a big old Earthquake. That doesn't actually kill, which maybe I should have thrown a few points his way. Hooktail actually eats up that Earthquake pretty well. I figured he was some kind of choice, sticking with the move. I set up Bulk Up here. This next play is going to be actually pretty interesting. So I get a Sky Uppercut off, do a little less than half, and he fires off Dazzling Gleam, which, first off, I didn't know Lantern got, but also we live that. We don't have, you guys know, like, we just had HP investment, no, like, Spit F, but, like, man, how weak is Lantern? Can't kill the 4 times Fairy Weak thing. Yeah, I don't know, but that was crazy. That's something new I learned today, guys. So, and hopefully something new you learned. Anyway, our best play is to just try to get as much damage, get Sky Uppercut. So, unfortunately, our dream of getting a kill with old Hooktail here is not going to come to fruition, as he's able to just pick us off with Victini. I go into low. I think this is a very safe switch. I didn't even realize Victini got Shadow Ball. That was a fantastic bring on Dirt's part. So I have to bring in a Weavile, and I know he would assume I would go for a Pursuit, so I figured he might stay in, thinking, I'll live that. But I go for a pretty safe knockoff. That's going to do a lot of damage to whatever mon he brings in anyway. So yeah, we get the better of him there, take out a huge threat. Yeah, so let's resume. Reveal our Life Orb damage. he gets in Gyarados. This is obviously the threat. We go into our physically defensive Aromatisse. Takes a fair amount of damage, but that's enough that like he's not gonna stay in. Get a nice wish off, and bring in Roserade for a nice safe switch. We get Toxic Spikes up, and we have Natural Cure, so we won't mind if we have to take a Scald Burn. Miss Jill Stein gets her 8th kill on the season, I believe. Maybe her 9th. 8th or 9th kill. I'll let you guys know. No, 8th kill. Okay. So yeah, he reveals the surprise counter, which was that was a very good bring on his part, and that kind of denounces my crap talking of Fortress. He reveals his Z move since he knows he's going to go down with his Tracheon. So I'm not. I guess that may have been for getting a bigger hit on Como, maybe a bigger hit on maybe getting Mega Steelix since Close Combat may not have just outright one shot, but that may have. I think that'd probably be the mentality behind that. Anyway, now I'm really, 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 really wishing I'd brought HD Fire on Roserade, because at this point, the game would be just literally won right here. He revealed to me afterwards he was Akaberry, so he could take a Fire Fang from Steelix and get a nice big counter off. I don't think at this range though he would live an HP Fire, even non-technician, which yeah. At this point my Roserade is taking like a lot of damage. I decided to risk Aromatisse since it's physically defensive and I could take an Earthquake. He actually does not seem to have the Gyro Ball. So he pivots out, goes to Gyarados. He attempts to we in the UTL, if I've not made this clear before, do not have a first turn Mega Rule. So I get a Wish Off. Here he gets a big chunk of damage at +1. He's able to take the set to his advantage. I protect here so I can live a second Waterfall, possibly depending on rolls. But he Mega Ball, so he gets the game into his own control. And at this point, my only hope is that I get like an Ice Shard crit, which I don't get, and he's able to just clean that out and clean out Miss Jill Stein. Well played, Derp. This is where I really regret my prepping choices, and I don't regret like thinking poorly of Fortress, but I regret not just bringing like enough cheeky fire coverage for it, because that was the difference between me being able to 1v1 Fortress was the difference between me winning the game and me getting swept by Gyarados. So I hope this serves as a nice cautionary tale, a nice lesson to those of you in leagues to to carefully think your prep choices, to not just take things for granted. Granted, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Stay woke, guys.